King of the Road.
Welcome to another edition of the King of the Road Show. I'm Jim King. In this episode, we'll wrap up our coverage of the recent Texas Rice Festival with exclusive concert footage and interviews from Charlie Robison, Gary P. Nunn, and Skeeter Jones and the Beer Can Band. Before we get to that, I'd like to take a moment to tell you about another upcoming King of the Road adventure. The boys are back in town. What began as Tracy Bird's homecoming weekend over a decade ago has evolved into a 3-day fun fest with 2 concerts and a golf tournament. The action will kick off on Friday, October 23rd with Songwriters Night at the Dixie Dance Hall on Crockett Street in downtown Beaumont.
We got Casey Bethard and Mark Nessler and Wynn Marble, David Lee, and Kevin Denny all coming from Nashville. And this Songwriters Night is something that happens every night in Nashville, Tennessee, but it's kind of unique to the Beaumont area. So we hope that all the music lovers out there will come out and see these guys. They'll be sitting here just with their acoustic guitars, telling stories about all the #1 songs that they've written and singing them for you.
The Beaumont boys have recently welcomed Major League Baseball star and off-season Southeast Texas resident Kevin Millar into the mix.
I'll be singing Watermelon Crawl and 2 Hearts.
Again, join the fun at the annual Beaumont Boys Bash, October 23rd through the 25th. King of the Road Productions will be cruising Crockett Street, snapping stills for the Examiner and videotaping for our King of the Road show. For more information about the Beaumont Boys Bash, visit beaumontboys.com. Now ride shotgun with me as we wrap up our look in the rear view at the Texas Rice Festival in Winnie.
One man has the power to take you behind the scenes. Jim King of the Road.
Jim King of the Road.
Texas Rice Festival 2009 was another one for the record books. Huge crowds turned out for Winnie's annual tribute to their local rice farmers. Speaking of rice farmers, we had the pleasure of meeting Buddy Holbrook, Texas Rice Festival Farmer of the Year. This guy's got 2 green thumbs, I think.
Well, I don't know about that, but try to be.
I understand you got a fancy plaque for winning that.
I sure did. They were really nice people out there, and I appreciate everything they've done for me, too.
How many years have you been farming, Buddy?
Since '63, ever how many that is.
In Liberty County, is that where
In Liberty County, yeah. Same place, and my family's been there since 1900.
What do you grow?
Just rice and cattle now.
We also visited with Kitty Yoakum of the USDA.
We administrate programs to help the farmers get the rice in the ground and also demonstrate and administrate disaster programs when announced.
So what are you doing here today?
We're hoping to get the word out that we're here to back up the agricultural department and encourage the farmers and producers to get out there.
I got a problem, I'm gonna drink right on my cheek.
Of course, the live entertainment is non-stop at the Texas Rice Festival. Here's Skeeter Jones and the Beer Can Band.
Was that a woman that I had wrapped around my finger just come unwound? Was that a woman that I had wrapped around my finger just come unwound? She kicked me out of the house and tonight I'm whiskey bound. I'm gonna be the drunkest fool in town. Cause that a woman that I had wrapped around my finger just come unwound.
Skeeter Jones and the Beer Can Band here tonight. Now, how many beer cans are we talking about? A 6-pack?
Well, it depends on what kind you're talking about. In the band, we've got 4.
Okay,
so it's like a 4-pack. If you count me, I'm like a crushed kind of
It's a
old
4-pack.
rusty beer can.
But you've been at this for years. In fact, when I first met you 10 years ago, actually, I said this earlier, 10 years ago today, this was the first Southeast Texas Festival I've been to.
Yeah.
And I love the Rice Festival.
Oh, yeah,
But back then, you were with the Living Proof.
Oh, yeah. Did our thing. We did the whole rock thing for a long time, and kind of still did. A couple of things happened in there, but moved over into, where my roots are. My grandfather played fiddle with George Jones and a bunch of the older guys back in the day. So I was raised country music my whole life. So kind of started, everybody's in my family saying, you need to play country. So, we took a stab at it, and we got some cool little things happening, good project working, getting ready to record, and do a bunch of very cool stuff. It's Texas country, I guess you'd say, rockin' country, you know.
Like I mentioned, he's from Southeast Texas, did Live in Proof for years, and then got a real job. Well, sort of.
Yeah, you should call it that.
Yeah. He's in radio. Okay,
Yeah.
KD 101. He does the morning show. Calls himself Skeeter Jones. That's your little alias.
That's it. Actually, JB gave me that name and it kind of stuck.
But that's great. That's worked out good for you.
Yeah, it really has.
You enjoy that too.
Yeah.
You're playing music and you're doing what you love and having a good time.
It helps out to be on the radio too. Of course, I've got a little broader audience that I can catch. You know, so I enjoy it. Man, I do it for the fun, and I love being a part of the Rice Festival and try to do it every year. And just real excited about playing tonight.
Well, I said, friend, don't take her, she's all I got. Oh, please don't take her love away from me. I'm begging you, friend, don't take her, she's all I got. She's everything in life I'll ever leave.
Legendary Texas troubadour Gary P. Nunn also entertained at the Texas Rice Festival.
My quarter found an old friend on the jukebox. In no time at all, Ray Price had filled the floor. I danced my chair around the table, and I never missed a step till I looked up and you walked through the door. Our love was just a two-step away. My heart fell at your feet, my crazy arms began to play. Some fall in love to waltzes, but I thank God for rain, 'cause our love was just a two-step away. That's easy enough. Sing along with it.
Yeah, so that's how I got my King of the Road thing started.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so
I get
I
it.
call myself Jim King of the Road, but this is Gary P. Nunn, the legend, the Texas legend, and it's great to finally meet you. I've been hearing about you for years, and I used to, I'd go see, when I was in college at UT, I'd see you and Jerry Jeff tearing it up all the time on the stages there in Austin, and in the late 70s and early 80s, and yet here it is 30 years later almost, and you're still...
Just a blink of an eye.
Yeah, but we're still here and kicking, especially
we
you.
are in this Texas music thing, I guess we were there when it started.
Yeah, you're kind of one of the founding members, you and Jerry Jeff and the Outlaw Movement.
The Gonzo Band and Michael Murphy, and even had a chance. I played with those guys, and I had a chance to play with Willie for a short period of time before he broke out.
Yeah.
And so I got to play him the first night at the Armadillo World Headquarters.
And that's a great
He
place.
hired me to play bass. It's me and him and Paul. The guy from Chet Flippo from Rolling Stone was the stringer for Rolling Stone, and he was there that night, I recall. And after we had this big sellout show with Michael Murphy and Jerry and Willie, he looked at me and he said, "Gary P, you think country music gonna work at the Armadillo?" I said, "Well, proof's in the pudding, partner. I mean, it's already worked." Sing with me now. Our love was just a two-step away. My heart fell at your feet. My heart fell at your feet. Crazy arms began to play.
It's the King of the Road show, and we're looking in the rear view at the recent Texas Rice Festival in Winnie, with an exclusive with Gary P. Nunn. More from Gary next.
I got tires that show back on me a silver. I got a Willie playing on my radio.
And coming up later, we'll check out Texas country star Charlie Robison.
Promise